Hello there. This is the group of Rivkin Bangayan, Ryan Chua, and Ram Gabaldon of I4A. The issue that we will be discussing is the selfishness of the students. Students just watch the news for the announcements of suspension of classes and don't care for the people who are affected and suffer from the flood. Who caused the floods? They are the people who do not care for the victims that get ravaged by the flood. Some people just throw their trash anywhere they want, the streets or the rivers. This is called the abuse of rights, when a person is obliged to help maintain a clean society but they throw trash anywhere without cleaning it. This causes the floods when people just throw everything in rivers and streets, or simply disposing a gum 1/8 by sticking it under the public bench. These are improper ways of treating our environment, which will eventually affect the people in our society. Simple things like throwing trash in the floor would affect the people around the community. Insensitive people around us, like some people in our school, should be more responsible. Simple things like throwing our trash in the proper place is a good start. This is a start for us to mold ourselves into better people who care for others in the community. People will be more careful in their actions in the community rather than just abusing what they already have. We should appreciate the things that are given to us by God. Our school, Savior, has made programs that would help us become responsible people that would become more conscious of our surrounding. The school provided us with different color-coded trash bins that separates biodegradable and non-biodegradable materials. They also became very creative by making trash bins from recycled wood, the Xbox. With the assistance of our helpful janitors during recess and lunch, they helped us become knowledgeable of segregation of materials. During recess and lunch, they stand beside the trash bins and guide us in which trash bin to put certain materials. Students that don't really care about other people and prioritize themselves instead of thinking about the well-being of other people are selfish. They just wake up in the morning and check if it's dark outside. They just care to look at the news for class suspension and not what's happening to the people around them. They won't care if people's houses are blown away by strong winds or houses that are submerged under the flood. This is why God created the society to help each other out in times of need. It's time to start now. By just donating to the poor or less fortunate is a big help to them. Giving a few clothes and snacks would already put big smiles on their faces. We should be more sensitive and give more to them because we are gifted and we are made to help our fellow brothers and sisters. In one society, everyone should be together and no one is left behind. Being generous to people who are less gifted is a step in doing something faithful, which will eventually help you to become more sensitive to others. Just a few weeks before, there were heavy rains that caused floods all over Metro Manila. The flood was not a joke. It has submerged as much as one story of a house. Many people were stranded in their houses, and some even went up to their roofs just for them to not get touched by the flood. Some people were in dire need of help because others were physically handicapped, mentally challenged, and pregnant. After the flood has subsided, Savior initiated the activity called Call of Duty. We personally helped and donated relief goods to Savior. We brought instant noodles, canned goods, water, rice, and biscuits. And after sending the donations to Savior, we felt so enlightened. Even without seeing the victims receive the donations, I can already imagine the big smiles on their faces. Trees being cut down, garbage thrown anywhere, and irresponsible and insensitive people are the cause of this big disaster. God's creation are made for us to use, but also for us to take care of. Trees that are cut down are the cause of the floods that we are suffering now in this country. People are being too selfish and using trees excessively. Rivers and lakes are created for us by God. But now that we are abusing it, it's unfair for Him. We've abused it and polluted it, and that's what gets back to us. Floods are tragedies that can kill people, and starting to care for our environment is one big step for us to prevent flood. As students, we can simply help by avoiding the throwing of trashes in rivers or lakes to lessen the pollution. It is important for us to see the value of our environment. We can also plant trees to avoid floods and produce clean air for us to breathe. The ozone layer too is affected even with our small actions, and because of this, millions of people around the world is suffering. So why not start now and not only prevent floods but also save the earth? With this issue, we can say that the community here and the future is surely affected. With flood, people die, people suffer, and properties are destroyed. These are the causes that will affect the future of a country because people who follow the Catholic social teaching could change the future into a better place. People will become more aware of what they have and their responsibilities for this world. Natural resources is one thing that we should preserve for the future generations because without it, living is impossible. Running out of air to breathe and running out of vegetables and animals to eat. Do you still think we will survive? Well, sadly, no. That's why we should start saving the natural resources, and now is the right time to do it. Living is part of this world, and if you still want to go on, don't abuse it and be mindful of the things you do.